time for you. Hit the guy?
Hello. One second. I'm going live.
Cool.
Hello and welcome to Rose Hitsugaya. Or Hitsugaya Rose, whichever you want to go with. I go by either. Today is another story time with Sarge.
And before we get into it, I just have a small rant about the OC breakdown because everyone kept saying, you know, Xenoverse 2 is a thing. Yes, I am aware it's a thing. Kyrina's on Xenoverse 2. Level 95, in fact.
As is Zoe.
But you can't stream Xenoverse 2 on YouTube from the PlayStation. You have to do it on Twitch.
Yeah, neither one of us have Twitch, so...
Oh, on Twitch, before you say make an account, die in a fire.
I'm not that aggressive most of the time. Okay, that's a lie, but I'm not that aggressive when unprovoked. Shut up!
I'm not that aggressive, she says.
Fuck off! Go die in a hole.
My, so aggressive. People already know I'm aggressive. I don't give a shit.
I'm not that aggressive unless provoked.
Prepare your defenses.
It's true. I have to be provoked to be that aggressive.
Alright. We don't have a tank, so I'll go Ryan.
I have found that in comp, I'm actually not that bad of a Rhine. But I told you that yesterday when I knocked the Bastion off the map during his play of the game, and I knocked the Diva off the map, like, right out of spawn.
Oh, we're gonna get
She
Raffle
came around
Stomp
the corner
because every time
to a
I've
charge
been in
run.
comp, it's just been trash team. It's just been trash teams. So I'm not really expecting much.
You know what? I'm gonna get behind the Rhine.
That'd be a good idea. Be a novel kind of concept. Just fixing my shield to where I can actually.
Defend objective A.
Hi. Still got the shield here. My shield's about to go. Cycling. Anyway, so our story time's actually it's kind of just about horrible friends.
Come here, you little shit! Got him.
I am literally just repeatedly blocking multiple explosions.
Sounds about right. Hit. Die! Oh fuck, I died. Okay, so, yeah, I will start since it was my idea. Oh fuck. Hi Genji. Why the fuck?
I just got surrounded.
Genji just kinda tracked me down and was like, you're gonna
I
die
got
now.
surrounded, so they have the point.
Heroes never die.
And I'm not expecting our team to be able to fend them off of it.
Actually, they're doing a pretty good job.
For now. So, before we go any further, Sarge, why are you so negative about the comp teams? Every comp game I have been in, I will say for now, with the exception of this team that you guys are seeing, has been utter trash. Hitsuguya can confirm this.
Yeah, and it's really funny. I'll comp like all day and have great teams, and then the moment Sarge gets with me, they're like shit tier teams, and I'm like, okay, but why? Rage monkey, rage monkey, rage monkey down.
I don't think I've actually gotten a kill. I've just been blocking shit, and I've missed 2 times.
You know what though? That's super fucking useful. Oh, you bitch! Oh, you bitch!
There's a kill.
You got her. You killed her. Ah!
Okay, we need to stop with this multi-ult bullshit. Yeah, they raffle stomp the team. They just want that objective. So it's now down to B, and we're gonna get raffle stomped probably.
New defense point. Objective B.
Where did Rage Monkey go? Die, Winston!
Reality bends to my will.
Don't worry, my friends. I am your shield. Come on down. Let me
Get out of here, Genji!
Enemy Bastion. Save the Lucio!
Anyway, so yeah, horrible friends. I'm gonna start with several stories about one particular person who, from this moment forward, will be known as the Buzz. Oh, you bitch! The Sombra, not the Buzz, although both could be accurate. Alright, so the Fuzz was this girl that I worked with previously with my fiance and another friend of ours. And the four of us were actually, like, for a time, pretty good friends. And we'd normally go on our lunches together, order food, and, you know, one person would order the food via, like, DoorDash or something, and then the others would either pay back or pay for that person's food the next time. It was, you know, pretty good system. The only problem is, the Buzz, for whatever reason, almost never had any money after a while. Rage Monkey! Rage Monkey!
I got killed, so it's kinda moot point to keep yelling it.
Rage Monkey was attacking me. Rage Monkey got me in the corner.
30 seconds remaining.
I'm hacked. I'm dead. I'd like to respawn.
This will fight in the end.
And they have it. It's over.
Motherfucker. Anyways.
Score 0-2.
So
Switching sides.
it started with
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
it started with small things. The Buzz would be like, "Hey, can I borrow some money here? Can I get a ride there?" And like, you know, at first we're all like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Buzz is going through a thing." She was living with her boyfriend at the time, and her boyfriend wasn't contributing to the bills at all, and all of that. And we're like, "Okay, you know what? You know, shit happens. Da da da.
Justice will be
This, that, and the other." Well, after a while,
the job done.
it started becoming every single time.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Like, every time we would hang out, she couldn't afford to pay. Every time, you know, we would order lunch, she couldn't afford it, and she would never order it on her phone or anything like that. And it got to the point where we're like, okay, this is weird. So then, her and her boyfriend broke up. And we're like, cool, he was kind of a piece of garbage anyway, because he, like, A, he didn't contribute to any of the bills, and B, he had this annoying habit of always needing to know where she was 24/7, and would be mad if she would hang out with her friends, and anytime he was invited, he'd be like, no. Which, I mean, fair, if you don't want to hang out with a bunch of people you don't know, sure, but, like, why are you gonna try and control where she's going and when? Like, that's what we were kind of on about. And, so when they broke up, we're like, okay, cool, you know, she's gonna move out, it's gonna get better, da. Yeah, no, it didn't. So they broke up, and she continued to still live with him. We're like, you know what? Okay, well, maybe she doesn't have the money to move. That's kind of fair, right? Well, her grandmother offered to let her move in with her. And move back in, you know, rent-free and all of that. And she said no. She didn't want to move back in with her grandmother. Her mom lived all the way on the, you know, the other side and all of that. She was always complaining about how she didn't have money for her rent or anything, but she was always calling off of work.
They're still fighting me yet.
And she kept saying, like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, but she was, you know, definitely the reason why. You know, if that makes any sense. And so she... Alright, fuck this. Okay, fine. So, while, you know, after a while we were like, okay, this is definitely becoming dodgy. So we decided to, kind of investigate, well, not really investigate, but we decided to, like, okay, well, we're not going to be an enabler anymore. We're not going to sit here and enable, you know, your bad choices. And it got to the point where, you know, we were all in a group chat, and so we ended up creating a smaller group chat that, you know, had all four of us and just, well, had three of us, because it excluded her. And she eventually kind of figured it out, but we never confirmed nor denied it. She just kind of asked if we did. And we, had to confirm or deny anything, but she kind of figured it out. And one of the big straws was when one of our other friends decided that she wanted to go to Topgolf and that she would pay for all of us. Now, if you don't know, Topgolf is a driving range, and this bitch is expensive. Alright, she spent about $200, $300 at this place for all of us, like all four of us to go. Not once did the buzz thank her. My fiance and I did, you know, I drove her home and a few times, and I paid for her lunch once or twice after that. You know, for like my part that she would have paid for me, but the fuzz never said thank you the whole time. I also thanked her profusely, but you know. And like that was kind of like the beginning of the end. And now at this point in time, we haven't really talked to the buzz in like over a year since COVID started. Well, since before COVID started actually. And now she just the other day texted our friend and was like, hey, at like 3 o'clock in the morning, or no, 12 o'clock in the morning, and was like, hey, can I borrow $65? I promise I'll pay you back Monday. And that's my story, my first story.
I got a loot box, so don't go back into comp yet.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go back into comp, that was kind of awful.
It really was.
Besides, No Limits is up.
So, let me start. I have a lot.
I know you do.
And the first
I
one...
also have, and after your first story, I actually have a story of someone that you and I both know because she went to my school before she transferred to your school.
The first one
Okay.
is... You can go ahead and start whenever.
Okay. Cool. No limits.
I'm gonna call this person... We'll call him Bob, because I'm not very creative.
Hi, Bob.
So, this harkens back, and this is a relatively tame one that I wanted to start with, because trust me, I have so many worse stories.
Yeah. Sarg has a friend group, if you haven't been paying attention, called the Loser Squad. That we pretty much are at this point, just keep around for the lulz.
Bob decided that his junior year of high school, he was going to be one of my friends, I guess, because, well, I don't know, but he decided this on his own. This was regardless of my involvement. Well,
We're not all going Turbjorn. That is not happening.
The sight of one of my
Oh, okay, so she went Widow. Fine, I'll be the diva. I don't mind being the badass.
I mean, this is No Limits, so,
oh,
you
hi,
know.
diva.
Didn't touch you, let me peek under the hood of your make.
Hey! Hands up! Must violence always be the solution?
Oh, okay.
You got Ash behind the wall.
So, all the divas just pop deflect, right? But Bob likes being a little bit of a narcissist, which, okay, before we go on, I need to address my entire life, I have never shied away from the fact that I am indeed an asshole.
No, say it ain't so. Not you, Sarge.
Trying to get your doctorate in sarcasm there.
Oh, honey, I already have it.
But anyway, Bob was he had never met her, but he knew about Sapphire, as at the time Sapphire didn't meet people, and he wanted to meet her because he was intrigued by what she was and who she was, which fair enough, you know. You can be interested in meeting somebody on that premise. Not a terrible thing. The thing is that he sort of forgot that she could still like while he couldn't meet her, she would still know what was going on, and so he kept saying how awesome she was gonna think he was.
I see.
And this got to the point where...
Is this who I think it is? Is this the guy that I called brain dead?
You'll see. This got to the point where he busted open a notebook one day. One of hers. And even though she couldn't switch in, she still had her own stuff for when she could. And I made it a point to keep those blank, so if she wanted to write down notes, whatever, right? Cause when we didn't know how she was gonna be able to communicate, or even if she was gonna be able to communicate, so I decided, you know, maybe maybe an idea of keeping a notebook around, so if she can only like scribble down notes or whatever to communicate isn't such a horrible idea.
Time to be young to die.
Which, you know what, fair enough, yeah. But he busts out her notebook because we all had like essentially lockers, but they were in class and anyone could get into them because the teacher just had a vendetta against slots.
I see.
And so essentially what happened was he just kind of opened her notebook and then proclaimed his love for her.
Oh, it is brain dead.
Well, as luck would have it, you know, she went phase 3. Which means, yes, she could switch in. No, she was not amused. And if you've all never seen Sapphire irritated or annoyed at somebody,
It's kind of adorable, first and foremost.
but secondly, she is known as the queen of flatbacks.
Come back out here, Ash.
And this is there is a lot of divas. I have lost track. How many divas are in play?
Pretty sure our whole team is diva.
No, because I see an ally towards one. This is just kind of insane. Hi, Ash. You have selected the wrong weapon. I like how I hear no one can hide from my sight, so we obviously have an ally Widowmaker, but it also Widow.
That's me.
Oh, you're the Widow? And so, what propels him to horrible friend status wasn't just stating his feelings. It was his disregard for hers. Time for the part 2 that Hitsuguya has never gotten to hear.
But I was right, it is brain dead.
Yes. This is why she's touchy about RPs.
Oh no. I think I heard part of this story.
So, if you're not familiar with what a roleplay server is, you essentially pick a character to play from a fandom or a fanfiction or whatever, any character, and you interact with other players playing other characters, and you might try to recreate certain scenes, you might try to do an AU story, whatever, right? There are just so many diva nukes going off right now. And I'm gonna add to it.
I just see so many diva mechs being destroyed. Like, I don't even know where to aim.
I'm not aiming, I'm firing.
Like, I legit didn't even know where to aim my gun. I was just watching it happen through the scope. Like, okay, this is a thing that's happening now. Hold up, how?
Damn, nice shot.
Thank you.
No one
Had a
can
couple
hide
of.
from my sight.
Oh!
That wasn't a good play.
No, it wasn't, but that Hanzo shot was beautiful.
Thank you.
I didn't realize
What
I was
it
on the
didn't show
objective
was
for
that
so long.
Right after that Hanzo shot, I also had I think 1 or 2 more headshots.
But, okay, so at the same time we all started an RP, and everybody was very excited for Sapphire to join because she was going to play the illustrious role of Ruby Rose. And if you've never met her, watch a Topo Talk and tell me this chick couldn't play good Ruby.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
You know what? I feel like an asshole.
We are not all going Tourbjorn. It ain't happening. Yeah, more could play at that game.
We'll turn this shit into a light show.
I need to clean my knife. There's a sticky substance under the clip, and I'm not sure what it is.
Well, anyway.
It looks like donut glaze, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Incoming in 30
Back in my own.
They're in this server we at first didn't really have any rules. We didn't know what we were doing, and so we didn't know what kind of rules we should have.
Even when you reverse time, you always make this.
Bob also really likes the idea of certain characters having certain things done to them to
4,
greet them into the real world, as he said at the time.
attackers incoming.
To be fair, I will give credit where it's due. Since then, he has said this was a terrible thing.
Try that again.
His birth? I agree.
Back in the fight.
The more it got me.
Gotta let off some steam!
Yeah.
Now, with Bob, he posted a certain picture after about I think it was a month of this RP going on, and not really much was happening. We were killing some Graham. I was actually playing Raven Bronwyn. And
There we go.
the only reason I was told to play Raven is because you know how to use a sword, and I'm like, that doesn't...
That's not a good reason, but okay.
That's not even her ability, really. Yes, she is known for her swordsmanship, but she isn't known that, like, that's her thing.
No one can hide from my sight.
I really just got screwed over there. I kept running into enemy, and our allies are not doing very much.
And she's back in the game.
Which is weird because these are the same allies from the last game.
Okay.
Got her. Ha! I had 1 HP left.
Back to work.
I think everyone's like, oh,
Got you, Tracer.
having a team full of tracers will be adorable, but I don't think everyone here actually knows how to play tracer.
I'm pretty good, but right now I'm also not entirely trying because I can't, because I'm also trying to focus on telling this story. Hi! I'm a tracer.
Got her.
Give me like... I at least demeched one of them.
Back in the fight.
Anyway, so Bob decided that he was gonna post this picture in the RP.
Yeah, I
and
did hear this story.
You heard this part. And this picture was a... Well, to be quite honest, it was Ruby being taken by Grimm in a sexual manner. And he was trying to RP it out as if it actually happened.
Bestiality is not okay.
First of all, anyone who defends this, there really isn't any way to defend it. Okay, we need someone other than Tracer. I'm going McCree.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
But as one would expect, Sapphire just left the RP.
Understandably so.
And afterwards, I completely shut down the RP. No one was able to play any character after that.
Understandably.
And this is where the baffling part comes in, is because Bob is still pissed about not being able to play characters in any RP, as any RP Sapphire will set up, he's automatically banned from.
Fair.
And she will fervently, I'm not even gonna lie, that was a good headshot, but still, we need to get some people on the damn objective.
We lost.
Well, of course, our team's trash. And this is why I say he's a horrible friend, as he couldn't even understand why Sapphire was upset.
Because she's a decent human being?
Okay, I don't think I have to explain this to you guys, but I'm going to. It is not that kind. If it's not that kind of roleplay, and the other person playing the other character isn't okay with it, don't fucking do it. I only got 1 kill. That was kind of trash. And so this brings me to when we gave Sapphire Ruby Rose in the current RP. She was extremely careful with how she was playing her. And I mean, at first, I think she really only did Grimm hunting. Can you remember?
I think she did, yeah.
Because I mean, I know for a fact she didn't even... I don't even think she messed around with, like, really meeting people from other factions for the longest time until... Essentially until, Misty hired Team Ruby to be Grim Hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Your body seems to be adapting
Anyway,
to the changes.
that is my first story. Hitsuguya, you can take it away.
Alright, so the second story is someone that Sarge knows. At least a little bit. It will become readily apparent as I tell the story.
Hello there.
So, there was this girl that went to the same middle school, or the same junior high and high school as myself. At least she did for the first year she went to the same high school. But she, ended up transferring, ironically, to Sarge's high school. In pursuit of this dude that she had absolutely zero chance with, because he found her disgusting and she cheated on him like twice, and yeah, but that's not the story. So, back when she was still friends with a very close friend of mine, Ruby, who I've done a couple of videos with, although she is going to be changing her YouTube name soon. I think to like Mocha Gaming or something like that. I don't know. She's still deciding. She lived close to Ruby and was, you know, playing game, or would go over to her house a lot and everything. Well, the problem is, she would steal things. She would go to, like, gas stations and stuff and steal snacks or whatever, and then not tell Ruby until afterwards. She was also a pathological liar. Like, it was back when like the Jonas Brothers were big, and every like preteen girl was like, "Oh my God, the Jonas Brothers!" Which, to be fair, I still kind of am. Like Jonas, like yo. But anyway, so she was like, "Oh yeah, I totally know all the Jonas Brothers," and like I snuck onto their tour bus and I stole a set of drumsticks, during the Nick Teen's Choice Awards, and it's like very obvious lies. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like really good friends with them," and this, that, and the other, and finally, like at first, Ruby likes. Back then, Ruby liked to see the good in everyone, so she didn't necessarily see, you know, that she knew that the Jonas Brothers thing was a lie, but some of the other ones, like, she was trying to give her the benefit of a doubt, like, well, maybe, you know, she wants people to like her and to have better friends, or to be friends with her, and stuff, because, you know, her home life kind of sucks. And I'm like, okay, but, like, you shouldn't have to lie to do that. And Ruby now doesn't do shit like that. She's like, if you lie, you're dead to me. If you lie about the movie, you're dead to me, which, I mean, fair.
You know, I would say that I like the color purple as like a joke lie, but that's kind of not a lie. Purple is kind of cool.
You like to what as a joke lie?
I said I would say I like the color purple as a joke lie, but that's not really a lie because purple is kind of a cool color.
It's my favorite color.
Of course it is.
You expected something different?
That's a fine how do you do?
Came into the wrong neighborhood, Reaper.
60 seconds remaining.
Since when did you play Junkrat?
Since I can take Ash out like that.
Fair.
I'm trying Junkrat because I have been told that his backstory is misunderstood, and I feel like if I have a couple good games with him, I might give a damn enough to actually read into his backstory a little more than I already have.
Fair. But yeah, so basically she was just a trash human being that was a pathological liar and somehow duped a mutual friend of mine and Sarge's to date her twice and cheated on him both times.
Play of the
It totally looked like Junkrat had his foot up on the Bastion.
Which would have been adorable. That was not really a good play.
No.
epic.
He sounds so proud! Anyway, your next story.
Ah, yeah, I've been wanting to tell this one.
Also, I'm curious, did you figure out who I was talking about?
Well, let me get through the story, because not really. Because you said shit that I wouldn't have known. Like... At least not right off the top of my head.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, I texted you her name because I'm not in the habit of calling people out by name on YouTube.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, regardless, next story time. So, in case y'all ain't aware, I had a very terrible relationship that actually started here on YouTube in a way. Like, we were both doing the channel, so just recap.
Oh, this bitch!
I have kept very few of her videos up. The Meet Snoopy video because the bird's cute. And the quick recap of how we met, because I really do believe that one should stay up just for posterity of like what happened. And I'm gonna make a whole video of why this shit went down and how. So this story is gonna be a teaser, a prologue, if you will.
The objective is now.
So this is going to be a Cedar Point experience.
That was not in the plan.
So
Is this the one that I know?
this is going to be our first time at Cedar Point. This is before the shit that happened. So, Kitten and I regularly liked going to Cedar Point. We did it once a year, typically on our anniversary, but like timelines didn't always work out for our anniversary, so it was as close to our anniversary as we could get, or i.e. whatever the fuck we could get time. And
Which, fair.
she liked riding the rides and I liked playing the games. So we would like usually split it up into like half the time we're there, we'll go ride rides, and half the time we'll go play games. So that we're both doing something that we actually want to do. Yo, I ain't no good as Ash. I'm going Genji. Now, with this, there came the stipulation that if there was something the other person really wanted to do, and like it wasn't necessarily like their half of the day, so to speak, it didn't really matter because we were there to have fun. And like it's not inconceivable that I go play a game while she go ride a ride. Typically we stuck together though, just because, see, the point is a fucking big place.
Yeah.
And it wasn't unheard of to get lost. Now, it's also to note that it's also of note that I wasn't really too into one of the rides there that she loved called the Fireball. And at current, I forget what the Fireball did.
I like Gatekeeper. Although
I like that one.
I shut the whole ride.
I like that one.
I always have to pop a couple ibuprofen before I go to Cedar Point though because of my back.
Well, you'll have now at the time Sapphire was fully capable of popping in and saying hi or doing whatever the fuck she realistically wanted. And she wanted to try riding a ride. Tulpa, if you're not innately aware or naturally curious. Very good idea to keep an eye on them if you're going somewhere they're not familiar with. As trouble, not trouble is in no do something bad, at least with Sapphire's case, every Tulpa is different, but with Sapphire's case it's more she'll get lost, get stuck, or accidentally break something. Anyway, and that does play into the story, I promise. Enough of the backlog, let's get into it, shall we? So, Kent and I start up, we get up at about 6 in the morning and we're on the road by 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, hey, what are we doing? Well, I asked, not told. I was like, hey, what are we doing first? Because I think we should get the rides out of the way because, you know, early in the morning there's probably not going to be as long of lines.
Fair.
And she's like, yeah, no, that's a good idea. That way we don't have to really worry about things. But isn't there a lot of lines at the arcade? And I'm like, no, because people typically play the arcade in the morning and wait for the rides till the afternoon. Why? I have no idea, but that's typically what I've seen. I'm also not a cartographer or surveyor of the area, so if this has changed since 2016 or 17, deal with it. Now, the one thing I will say is this is kind of where the day starts to go a little down because,
Did you see me take out the May?
Yes. Kitten and Sapphire aren't the greatest of friends. And they never really were. Now, Sapphire would essentially play nice, but she also really didn't want to... She didn't want to have to deal with her bullshit longer than she needed to. So, she would often, if had to hang out with Kitten, air quote, essentially fuck off and go do her own thing.
Fair.
And So she did that at Cedar Point because I was like, let's just, because you and Kitten both want to ride rides. You guys can go ride the rides, and I'll be in the afternoon to play the games.
Oh God!
That Roadhog tried to kill me, but it didn't work. Well, I mean it did, just not in the way he wanted. He tried to environment to kill me, but
The enemy Genji came up and said, "No, fuck you, Hanzo. How dare you kill me, brother?"
I don't know how I didn't kill that Roadhog.
I return to the fight.
So, with that being said, in the morning, Sapphire Kitten embarked to go ride rides.
Sorry, I just took out the red one.
And as they go, Sapphire essentially tells Kitten, yo, bitch, you're on your own. Now, she didn't say that in those words. She literally said, hey, you and I don't get along. So, it's probably best if we just go do our own thing. That way there's no fight.
Fair.
That, in turn, started a fight. Because Kitten was like, well, I wanted to spend the day with Sarge. Again, fair, but we had talked about this the day prior. She already knew this was going to happen. And I feel like if she wanted to say something,
Then should have been the time.
yeah. Because, like, before y'all jump on me like, oh, well, you're the bad person here because da 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 da, let me just explain. Just as it's a pretty special occasion for us to go to Cedar Point, Sapphire never been. And I didn't want her to have to, like, just kind of sit there and watch us have all the fun and then get to do nothing. So I was like, it's probably fine if, you know, we do this for, like, at least a little bit. Because she really wasn't going to be there all that long. Literally, she wanted to ride the Gatekeeper and win some game prize. Didn't have to be anything big, just use some tickets to get something to remember the day by. Not actually going to take more than probably an hour. Oh god, there are 3 Diva here.
I'm ready to win. The destruction caused by the Omnics here.
I cannot take Hanzo's voice seriously with the skin that I have on. With him with the big long Santa beard.
Wait to get into the fight.
Yeah. I just love how we have, like,
All systems
all of
operational.
these, like,
Ready for
hard
combat.
hitters. I think we have 2 Mercy, which is probably not bad.
I think it's 1 Mercy, a Bastion, 3 Diva, and myself.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi.
And now
Attackers incoming.
Hiya.
Defend objective A.
Stick with me, and I'll cover you.
I knew that was a dumb idea, but I still wanted to do it. Everyone needs a Leroy Jenkins once in a while. And so Sapphire went and actually, ironically, rode the Gatekeeper.
How is that ironic? She wanted to write it.
Well, yeah, but we had both said that we liked it.
Oh. Fair.
Anyway, so
No.
as she gets off of the gatekeeper, every 2 or 3 minutes after she got off the gatekeeper, mind you, they had to walk from the gatekeeper's exit point to the arcade. Which, if you've ever been to Cedar Point, that's a walk. That's like, I would almost say that's like a few, I want to say like, I'm not going to say 100 yards because I don't think it is. I think it's more like 80 yards. But for 2 people that don't like each other, 80 yards is a long fucking way.
Yeah.
And so every 2 to 3 minutes that they're walking after she gets off the gatekeeper, Kitten keeps asking, or is bro gonna switch in or something like that. Now again, if she asked once, you know, that's one thing. She's genuinely curious or something. We're not gonna make it in time.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Hi.
Hanzo got the hops.
Group up with me.
Oh, he got deleted.
I got deleted.
I'm gonna shoot you down.
Hit. Boing.
My ultimate is almost
Fucking
ready.
take that. That goddamn Tracer's been pissing me off all game.
I'm ready to initiate self-destruct sequence.
Anyway, so, and Sapphire was like, look, I'm gonna go win something from the arcade, you go do whatever. Because clearly, walking to the arcade was just a task that was too undoable for these two. So, you know, she gave up on it. Now, Sapphire won a little, like, I can't remember what exactly it was. It was like a little figurine or something. Like, and she wanted to keep it because, again, the whole point of her going to the arcade was to win something to remember the day by.
Servants never die.
Okay, well that got tossed onto the fireball as it was moving at great rate of speed, thus turning it into spare parts.
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah, Kitten threw her little figurine into the fireball as it was swinging shut.
Get through this.
Thus, not only
Nerf this.
Why would she do that?
so
I'll show them.
I didn't mean to solo ult the Tracer, but I did just indeed solo ult that Tracer. Essentially, the reason why was because she got tired of Sapphire being around.
So she wanted Sapphire to go away, so she took her toy and threw it into a roller coaster right before takeoff?
Yep.
That could have hurt someone that was on the roller coaster.
Which is why we had to leave. Security literally told us to go look out.
Bailing out.
Fair.
And this is kind of a weird instance because I do not want to completely just say she should have done this, that, or that. If you don't know how to deal with something, make it painfully obvious. Because had she made it obvious that dealing with Sapphire isn't really in her cards, at least at the moment, we could have maybe found a compromise.
30 seconds
But she didn't. And again, that's the part that I'm having issue with. And throwing Sapphire's little figurine into the coaster. That really could have fucked somebody up.
10 seconds.
And then, as a result, getting y'all kicked out.
Victory.
Oh, well, that Tracer's dead.
I really cannot take Hanzo seriously with this Xanavier.
Anyway, that was my second story. I apologize, it was rather long.
That's okay. My first story was pretty long.
Oh hey, there was another Uchiha in the game. She got 12
Was
kills.
there?
Yeah, there was a girl named Shia Uchiha or something. It was on the enemy team. I'm actually gonna go endorse. Where are you? Yeah, Saya Uchiha. You're getting endorsed from Hybrid Uchiha now. That's a thing. And it's not just because she has the name Uchiha.
Uh-huh.
It is.
I know it is.
So, little caveat though. Because I feel like this needs bared mentioning. Sapphire wasn't really mad about the figurine. But she was mad that somebody could have gotten hurt. And well, to be 100% fair, I fully believe if Kent would have done that to one of her All Might Funko Pops, somebody would have died.
And that somebody would have been Kitten.
Probably. Anyway, do you have
I
a...
know I have other stories, but I just can't think of any right now, so...
Well, this is an hour-long stream.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, we already crossed the hour threshold.
Oops.
Were we not supposed to?
I don't think it matters. Ooh, I got D&D stories.
Fuck, I do too.
We'll start with yours.
You thought Bob was done?
Oh, no. Brain dead, why?
So, let me set the scene for you. We are on a ship with monstrosities attacking at every turn. The classes are Sarg, playing a character named Romazov, a human fighter specializing in the bow and the rapier. Bob, playing a rogue Enya, specializing in daggers and being an idiot. Snake Master 123, playing a Dragonborn, who I cannot remember the name of right now, but he pulls a badass maneuver to stop all badass maneuvers.
That's something rare that comes out of that friend group.
Yeah, no, that's actually it. No! Oh! No, that was it. I thought we had a fourth player, but I can't remember. So, if we did, they didn't do anything important. We make our way onto the top deck. We had to climb up the side from our rowboats. Now this is the perfect stealth opportunity. It's night. The cover of darkness is our ally. So naturally, Enya runs across the deck at full fucking speed. Somehow managed to stay undetected, by the way. We all get into different positions and we start taking out some of the guards secretly. I use my bow and shoot the captain in the back of the head, which alerted the first mate, who I promptly stabbed. I didn't kill the first mate right off the bat, but I also really made it very clear that he was not going to have a good day if he stuck around.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
As Romazov had +8 piercing damage and I got a 19 on my attack. And then I think an 8 on my hit, so I did almost like 20 damage to him, and we're still fairly low level, so 20 damage is like most of his health.
I like throwing the arrows and seeing them stick in the glass, because like they stick out just a little bit on the other side. Anyway, go ahead.
So, as the fight continues, at one point in time, becomes known to us that there is a wizard on the aft side of the deck, and that we should use caution. For the wizard, the DM put the wizard there essentially because he kind of figured that we were going to make short work of the deckhands, and he needed something there to kind of stall us while he could read the next part of the adventure.
I'm staking my claim on the objective. Taking the point. Who's with
So, in other words, this bad guy was supposed to stall us. Not kill any of us. He didn't think any of us were going to be dumb enough to do the exact thing that Bob did.
just what the doctor ordered?
Did Brain Dead die?
Just fucking about.
That wouldn't have been a big loss.
So, Bob, playing Enya, mind you, I killed the one bastion.
Did you just get deleted? I see like the blue
Yeah, there's
outline
two bastions.
Jump,
There's one on the left wall.
I see you dead.
There's one on the left wall too. But I deleted the one bastion because he was watching the front gate, and I just kind of threw my stun grenade and then fanned the hammer in his back.
Now, much better.
So, now, it's of note, again, Enya's a rogue. She is currently 3 feet from the wizard. And her greatest idea is watch me run up to him and stab him with my dagger.
It ain't my time.
Oh no, she was 13 feet, so she stopped right in front of him, and she didn't have an additional, so she had to wait.
I took out the ash.
So the wizard decides to cast like a lightning bolt spell. I don't know exactly what the spell was.
get it done there.
But I don't remember exactly what the spell was. But I just remember,
Thank you.
I just remember essentially that, yeah, no, it wasn't pretty.
An expedient. If we are to progress, we must train the objective.
Nope, none of that shit.
I'm under attack.
My ultimate
I
ring.
have found the enemy.
So Enya got lightning shot across the deck and fell 20 feet,
You see it.
leaving her at an astonishing 4 health.
You see it.
And mind you, the wizard still isn't dead.
Well,
So, since he used his action and I rolled first on initiative, I run up and stab him twice in the side. Our Dragonborn essentially... Ah, God. I got killed.
If it makes you feel any better, I killed him right when he killed you.
This.
I don't like getting deleted like that, though. Because then I have to walk all the way back from
Well.
spawn for, like, the reason of, oh, hey, you're in the wrong place. You should always be, like, 10 kilometers away from the game. But that ain't a thing.
No, don't hammer down me. I don't want to be hammered down. Dude.
just like old times.
I keep killing enough of these guys and then dying.
It ain't my time.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty close game, to be fair. And so, after Enya's big dump, I don't know how I missed that. Come on.
60 seconds remaining.
Damn it.
Rest in peace.
Do something.
And so the main point I have to emphasize is that Enya is currently using death saves because she has since bled out and is now rolling death saves to try to stop herself from dying.
Did I get? Please tell me I got the ult off.
Doesn't matter, we're about to get surrounded and killed. We got surrounded and killed.
Defeat.
Now the main reason
Play of the game.
Excuse me?
Double, triple.
Oh.
that's actually not a bad play. Oh! Now, the reason why I didn't go and attempt to aid Enya is because A, Enya was 45 feet away from my current position. Even if I had wanted to go help... Bless you. Even if I wanted to go help Enya, I couldn't. And B, I'm not a goddamn medic. Thus,
I need a doctor.
you know. So, now,
Ooh, I got a legendary. I've been wanting this skin.
now, that is essentially the story, but I just want to let y'all know Bob was extremely pissed that the wizard threw a lightning bolt spell at him.
Oh no?
Because that's what sent him... That's what put him into death saves.
Alright. I have got... Tales. Tales of Annie the Halfling. The chaotic evil halfling.
The one that would slit
This
your
may-
throat, stab a child, and throw her off the cliff.
Be nice to Annie.
I mean,
I'm gonna show off my new skin.
she's chaotic evil, so...
Yeah, but she wasn't dumb about it. She was chaotic evil, but she also had, like, super high fucking intelligence. Now, this is the same Annie that I'm using in Sophie's campaign, except in Sophie's campaign, she's not chaotic evil.
I grow tired of waiting.
I think she's, like, lawful good or something like that. I don't remember.
I think she's lawful neutral.
That makes sense.
Think you can keep up with me?
Anyway. Are you a Reaper?
Hey.
Oh god.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Gun them down.
I shoot fish in a barrel.
This was the expected conclusion.
Tin cans, a dime a dozen.
Thank you.
So, anyway,
But yes, so Annie's backstory at the time was
oh,
based...
I fucked up.
Did you fuck up?
Yeah, I teleported too far to the edge. And then the game said I died.
I have fucked up. I pissed off the Rhine and I'm a Hanzo.
Helden sterben nicht.
Anywho. So yeah, Annie's story was loosely based off of my boyfriend at the time's backstory for a character of his that was not involved in the campaign, only to the point of she was from the same town and we were going with the whole story. So it was kind of a continuation off of another campaign that we were playing with a different DM who we all decided what to fuck with and we all became not his friends anymore. Oh yeah, that's the other story I was looking for. Anyway, that's a story for another time.
Form up.
And, so we all kind of decided that
My ultimate is
I won't be that bitch. So we all kind of decided that we were going to do our own campaign, that my ex, not the bad one, that he wanted to try being a DM, so we were all like, yeah, cool, let's go join this campaign. And all that, and so we kept, so his character was a cultist and had taken over Waterdeep. And Annie was from Waterdeep,
makes you
and she was like an avid follower of this cultist, and she wanted to, her whole goal was to take over as much as possible in the name of Waterdeep. and by extension, in the name of this dude that was my ex's character. Now, he was dead in this campaign, because he had died in the previous campaign. And we had just kind of decided, you know, because my ex and I had talked about it, and we're like, oh yeah, no, they were never a thing, but she absolutely wanted to be, but he was too self-absorbed to ever actually be in a relationship, as was she, by extension, because she's kind of crazy. Okay, more than a little crazy. Her introduction to the party was walking in after having burnt down the house of someone that had called her crazy, and she was definitely a pyromaniac. Yeah. If any of y'all ever played League of Legends, she would face off of Annie from League of Legends loosely. Just a demented version. And,
Helden sterben nicht.
sorry. Die, Junkrat, die.
Let's try that again.
Okay, so yeah, that's Annie's backstory, more or less. Anything that's really important to it. She did have a little teddy bear that she liked.
Surrender to my will.
That was definitely totally not based off of Annie's ults in League of Legends. It was. It even had the same name.
The sad thing is, most of the characters Sapphire's made would, like, even if Annie was like, well, there's a reason I'm evil, she'd be like, yeah, but you're still evil, you still want to kill people, and I still have to stop it.
Yeah, fair.
And
so
I will kill everyone you love, just so you know what it's like.
Yeah. Annie was the kind of villain that didn't kill senselessly, though. And she hid from her party that she was chaotic evil. No one knew, and she was good at playing the long game. But her long term, so there were many characters in the, like, player characters who were honor bound. So her long-term goal was to pay a wizard to imprint a memory in each of their minds that they had sworn their allegiance to her, and then slowly take over towns in the name of Waterdeep.
An ominous portent.
Good person, not by any means. However, she had a interesting way of going about things. Hammer down that bitch. So yes, getting to her actual story. We all start with a small party in a town
60 seconds.
that has a bandage problem.
This is my will.
Now, I whiffed that all. That's okay. Now, this town was where we all started. And excuse me. And I forget the name of the town because this campaign has been about 6 years ago now. Damn, 6 years ago. Shit. Anyway. So we were in this town and everything, and it was like an open map campaign where there wasn't like a direct storyline. And we could do whatever we wanted. Now, the town guy had told us, hey, there's this bandit problem going on. They come every week and they try to steal every. I'm sorry, what? Oh. No, that wasn't bad. Anyway, so they're like, hey, if you could take care of the bandits, you know, you can keep whatever you can carry loot-wise. And we're all like, okay. Now, mind you, we're a first level party and this is an entire thing of bandits. We were not supposed to be able to do this. But we went ahead. And at level 1, Annie had a ridiculous hide, and there was tall grass, so I got a situational bonus, and it was dark outside, and I had a black cloak, so I also had the situational bonus for that. And... So we, So we all made our merry way over to where the bad guys were supposed to be, and we were found. Now, my party was at the bottom of the hill, and I decided to try and sneak my way up. Now, I got about halfway up the hill, sneaking up behind them because I was just going to be like, you know what? I get sneak attack damage. Let me just sneak up the back of the hill, climb on the back of the boss and slit his throat, and then, you know, that'll be that. Pretty solid plan, yes?
No.
I got C. Huh?
No.
How is that not a solid plan? Kill the boss, become the boss.
Well, yeah, but this is D&D. Your plans always get fucked up, and just saying that I'm gonna easily no diff, sneak up there, no diff the boss. Plan B would be nice.
Yeah. Plan B became readily apparent. So yeah, I'm trying to sneak up. Now, there's this guy we'll call Annoying Fuckwit. Fuckwit was... We more or less allowed him to join the group because the people that I played with were too nice to say no, and he creeped me the hell out, so we just made sure that he was never at the same, like, sitting in the same area of the table as me. But, yeah, he was creepy as shit. So, he was also playing an evil rogue, but who was trying to take over the... Supposedly, I found out later his backstory was that he was trying to take over the world, but do it, like, in the most stupid way possible. So he was supposedly supposed to be a dumb fuck? I don't know. I think it was just an excuse because the dude playing him was not the brightest bulb in the... anything. I forget how the rest of that thing goes. He was definitely not the brightest bulb in the light. And he also decided to sneak up the hill. Now, he got seen, so what he did was stand up, or no, he didn't try to sneak up the hill. His ass tried to walk up the hill from the back after his first failed sneak and was like, hey guys, and was trying to talk to them. Now, I eventually did get seen, so I just kind of stood up and I stood there, like I didn't get closer, I didn't say anything. This dude tried to go up there and talk to these fuckers. As they're basically threatening the rest of our party, he's like, oh yeah, no, I can talk to them and it'll be fine. No. Diplomacy's not your strong suit there, my dude. So...
Consider yourself warned.
So he, So he goes up and everything, and he straight up, they're like, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, we're here to kill you guys.
Let the dragon consume you!
Cue everyone at the table going, what the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, so he just straight admitted why we were there, and needless to say, we were all pretty pissed. And so they captured him.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but me and this other Bastion looked at each other and waved at the exact same time.
Aww, was it an enemy Bastion?
No, it's the ally. We're both on the payload.
Aww. That's adorable.
No, you killed my bastard friends! You bastards! Where'd he go?
I think he's dead.
Anyway, I'm sorry, your story.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to find the right angle for my ult.
The dragon consume you!
This looks like it's gonna be rather annoying.
Or not. So yeah, so he just straight goes, oh yeah, we're here to kill you, and we're all like,
Play of the game.
Now, it's also worth noting at this point in time that I put a shit ton in bluff. I put the max that I was able to put in bluff because I decided Annie needed to be able to bluff her way out of any situation, and it came in handy like twice. Actually,
I
it came in
did
handy more than twice.
1582 healing to myself.
Damn. So, Annie, we obliterated that team. That match was only 4 minutes.
I know. Can we back out so I can open my loot box?
Yeah. Or not. Oh, okay, good. We did get up. So, at the point that he had been captured and tied up is when I was seeing, so I just stood up. By this point, I was actually more than halfway up the hill. All of the rest of our teammates are at the bottom of the hill. And after hearing the other rogue going, oh, we're here to kill you, they couldn't hear anything else because he kind of shouted it because he was like less than halfway up the hill and like shouted it. And by this point, I was more than halfway up the hill and I wasn't shouting. So they had, so at this point, the rest of the party has no idea what's going on. They can only see, but they can't hear. And so the guys are like, who are you, da-da-da, and I'm like, oh, well, my name is Annie, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, so, and I'm like, I heard what you were doing to the town, and I admired your work, I wanted to come and, you know, see you guys, ask some questions, da-da-da. Basically, I was praising the fuck out of them.
Well, I mean, Annie probably did like what they were doing to the town, to be fair.
Not really. She was chaotic evil, but she did have, like, lines that you shouldn't cross.
I view every chaotic evil person I've seen, because this is how they've all been played, is I'm not someone you should fuck with. Anything that happens to anyone other than me is completely okay, because it's not me. So
Yeah, no, she wasn't exactly like that. She had a select group of protected peoples, I would say. Children being one of them. And the children in the town were suffering because the parents had no money, so she's like, that's no bueno.
After this, we'll have to end the stream now.
Okay. So they were like, okay, are you with this guy? And the dumb rogue was like, yeah, she's with me. And I looked at him and I was like, nope, I just met him today. And so I had to roll bluff check. Passed. Well, I didn't necessarily have to roll bluff check for that one because I had just met them that day. And I had no, like, attachment to him. And they're like, okay, prove it. And I was like, okay, how? And they're like, kill him. And I was like, fuck it, okay. So I just started chucking daggers at him. And I ended up mortally wounding him. Like, he was still alive, but he was definitely hurt. And they're like, okay, well, what about the people down at the bottom of the hill? I said, oh, those are my bodyguards. In case things go wrong. And at that point, I did have to roll a bluff check, and I passed. And they're like, okay, leave, and you leave him here. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I walk back down the hill, and everyone's like, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? And I'm like, just say nothing and keep walking. And they're like, okay, what about him? And I said, just say nothing and keep walking. So when we get back, I told them what happened. Our cleric forgot that he was a cleric and was supposed to heal, like, should have healed Ian. Oh, I just said his real name. Oh well. And should have healed him. And so he was left out by the bandits, tied up, bleeding, in not winter, but like fall conditions. So he ended up dying due to like the weather. And Annie and they all kind of looked at Annie, and Annie's like, hey, if I hadn't have killed him, they were about to attack all of us. And everyone looked at the DM, and the DM's like, she's not wrong. She inadvertently saved all of you by killing the player.
So player who you got killed, just sit on the sidelines until the campaign's over. You'll be able to re-roll or whatever.
No, he came back in. He had a different character who was even dumber than the first. And at that point, like, we got so many people in our group at that point, we actually split off during our Christmas episode, and we told, like, nobody wanted him in their group. So he was stuck in, like, the group that I was in, and Annie didn't like him because of something else that I'll explain to you after the stream, but Annie didn't like the new character basically because they didn't think he was pulling his own weight, and then gave a bunch of loot away that she thought was hers, because when they did eventually beat the bandits, it was only because of her, because she went to Waterdeep and got, like, a fuck ton of people to come and help them. And she was single-handedly the only reason they were able to defeat the bandits at, like, level 2, which was a level 5 challenge rating. And this dude who they met when she wasn't around, because they met, like, partially when part of the party was divided, so she'd never seen this person before. She didn't see this person help, like, at all. And he's just rifling through this, the loot, and then telling someone else that they hired, oh, you can have this and that, and without, like, because he couldn't get it open, without letting her try to get it open. And that didn't sit well with her, because she's like, who the fuck is this loser? And so she ended up killing him again. But apparently, I was told, you metagame killed him, and I'm like, literally, these are all the reasons she killed him. And they're like, no, you killed him because you don't like to play her out of game. And I'm like, no, I don't. But literally, here's all the reasons why Annie wanted him dead. And they're like, no, you're just using it as an excuse that Annie's chaotic evil. I'm like, okay, but I'm not, though. But, yeah, whatever. So, if you want more tales of Annie or any of my other D&D stories,